So I received a phone call from a supervisor telling me that an employee reported that her coworker left for the last 6 months has arrived to work late and or left work early. Now the supervisor believes the employee is stealing time. And the supervisor also has known for the last 6 months, but didn't discuss it with me, the rules and regs chick. And they're fed up and want to fire the employee. Now what? So, what facts do you need to determine? Remember, this person allegedly has been stealing time for 6 months. The supervisor never noticed, but the coworker did, and they allegedly came to work late or left early. So what facts do you need to determine? And what items do you need to review to make some determination of what has occurred? How do you determine the facts? Well, first of all, we need the informant's written statement. Did they provide specific dates of the alleged actions? Two, the employee arrival and departure times for the last 6 months. The time cards need to be reviewed and possibly some log on, log off reports from IT. Or if you have access card swipes into the building, that'll help support that information. We also need the informant's arrival departure time for the last 6 months because we're going to need to compare time cards, the log in, log off reports from IT to see if the informant and employee work schedules overlapped. Because if the informant was in on Tuesdays and Thursdays and the employee was in on Mondays and Wednesdays, there was no overlap. So they could not have seen it. And then we want to check and make sure the informant isn't arriving late or leaving early. And what are the employer's policies and procedures on schedules? Does the policy allow gliding, reporting, leaving times, or maxi flags versus a set schedule? And then the employee's leave request. Did the employee submit leave requests for the alleged early arrival departures? The informant wouldn't have that information, so they don't know, and the employee's not obligated to tell them. So this is all the information we would need to determine some of the facts. So we took a look at the informant's written statement, and unfortunately, it was sort of vague. The verbal report that she gave to her supervisor didn't clearly match her accusations. On basically, her statement said on Mondays, the accused left early about an hour, and on Thursdays, arrived late about half an hour, and that she noticed his arrival times and departures because he used the door closest to her desk, unlike the other coworkers. Now we're looking at the accused arrival and departure records, and it shows that the employee, so the system requires that employees submit time cards and the supervisor approves in the system. Now that's going to be important later on. Accused schedule is to work 8 to 4:30. The informant worked 8:30 to 5. So he arrived and left before the informant. But if he was late or leaves early, she may notice. The 6 months of time cards show majority of the time the employee reported normal shift on Mondays and Thursdays, which the supervisor approved. But we're still waiting for IT to provide forensics on the access card, the swipe in and out badges, as well as any log in, log out information. We don't know the motivation of the informant, so we got to take a look at her records. Her schedule is 8:30 to 5. The supervisor confirmed that she worked on most Mondays and Thursdays. The informant worked her assigned work shift most days unless on approved leave, and waiting for IT to provide forensics on her as well. Step 4 is reviewing the employer's policies and procedures on time and attendance. So the time and attendance policies allows for several alternative work schedules. Straight eights, no flexibility on shifts. You work straight 8 hours, 10 days, unless on approved leave or holiday. That is what the informant is working. Gliding, the employee allowed to report to work and leave up to 2 hours before or after the start or end of the shift. Or MaxiFlex, the employee can work any hours except during the hours of midnight to 6 a.m. to meet the 80-hour requirement biweekly, as long as they work the core hours 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Convoluted, basically, they can work any hours they want around 10 and 3 to make up those 80 hours. We did a review of the accused and informant leave request. Remember, the supervisor has to approve it. During the 6-month period, the accused requested leave only 2 Mondays and 3 Thursdays for full workdays. During the same period, the informant was off the same Mondays and Thursdays as the accused. In addition, she was off every Monday after payday during that 6-month period. So Rules and Regs Chick is reviewing all of this, and I'm going, now what? Well, there are discrepancies between the informant's allegations and the evidence that we have so far. It appears that the informant couldn't have possibly seen him for the last 6 months every Monday because she's not there every Monday. But before we begin asking questions of the informant and accused, because we're going to ask them both questions, we need to see the forensic report from IT. We need to see those badge swipes. We need to compare it. It appears also that the informant has a challenge of her own. What is the motivation behind this report? That's the key. And then we are not at the point of recommending discipline. We still need the facts. We know that the supervisor's calling you every 15 minutes or every other day asking for an update when they drag this beast for 6 months. But we're going to talk about that. This will be a time probably to have the supervisor course correct time and attendance. Also, speaking with employees about what to expect, how to work within the time and attendance policy, all of that. So, but until we have some facts, we can't make any rash decisions. I mean, you could, but take it from the Rules and Regs Chick. You don't want to. We still need the facts. Let's talk about it. Put in the comments what you think the next steps should be. Let's talk about it. If you have any questions, you've got my contact information on the next slide. Please feel free to reach out. Have a great weekend. I'm the Rules and Regs Chick. You can reach me through my YouTube channel at Against Company Policy 6287. IG, I'm at the Rules and Regs Chick, or you can email me, rulesandregschick@hattyknight.com. Have a great weekend.